So the Flash continues with Armageddon Part 4. Well, the Armageddon for CW already happened some time ago, with the only bright spot being Superman and Lois and sometimes Stargirl. Yeah. So anyway, how do you make things worse for the Flash? Well, you have Batwoman show up. Actually, it didn't really matter. She's just there. Yeah. So anyway, Barry, of course, went to the future to find out what the hell's going on and what exactly is this Armageddon coming and all that. And oh no, everything's topsy-turvy and twisted and turned around. And time has changed because Reverse Flash has screwed with him yet again, despite ceasing to exist how many times and all that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There he is. He managed to change time where he became the Flash and Barry became the Reverse Flash. Boy, how does he do that? I mean, it would take godlike power to do it. They don't explain it. He just sort of says, I made sure I'm the one who had the accident that gave you your powers and not you. And boy, that was enough, huh? And then somehow convinced Iris to fall in love with him so that they were engaged to get married and stuff like that. And then they tossed around some of the other characters and borrowed some other characters from other shows. I seem to remember that Ryan Choi was cast, but I'd forgotten all about it. So anyway, Ryan Choi's there. But in this alternate future, he and Chester are best buds. And he puts on an Atom suit briefly so they can have a fight scene with Damian Dark. Of course, time has changed, so he's alive again and ends up helping Barry because Barry needs help. And he explains to him that his daughter was saved in the normal timeline, but she's dead in this one. And that Damian Dark had sacrificed his life to save her. So, you give him a motivation. Then at least they give an explanation there for Damian to help out Barry Allen. So it's all slap job rush stuff to get them there. Of the episodes, this one's a little better because there's a sense of pacing that they're actually doing something. Because Barry's got to figure out what happened and how to fix it and all of that. And, and he lost some of his speed in the previous attacks and whatnot, so it's going to be hard for him to do it. In order to do it, it's going to set off some cataclysms across the planet, which would be the cause of what the Armageddon was. But by undoing everything, the timeline never existed and all this sort of stuff, so everything's fine. And, once again, the forced emotion of, oh, God, everyone's back and they're happy, and, oh man. And that, that's what CW does. The thing about Joe, though, I guess the actor was unavailable. I don't know. He just talks to him on the phone and you don't see him, so I don't know what that's about. I know he had some back problems, and hopefully that's not causing him trouble going forward or anything, But anyway, wasn't on the show. So, as for the rest of it, a couple of dumb scenes. So I guess they decided that Chester and Allegra are going to become a couple. And so with the time change, it suggests that they had this intimate encounter earlier on. And then there was, miscommunication or whatnot. But then it was all boils down to Allegra was scared or something, but Supergirl's sister was there to play Cupid for them, so that's great. So I'm guessing that'll be a narrative they'll pursue further in the normal timeline, but who cares? I mean, Chester, the actor playing him, is a little bit better than the actress playing Allegra, but they're just furniture. They just don't amount to a whole lot. And that's too bad, but that's just the way it is. So, it doesn't really matter. It's just, oh, look, Barry's wearing the Reverse Flash costume, and the Reverse Flash is wearing Barry's costume. So they are wearing each other's clothes. So anyway, and this version of the Reverse Flash is closer to the comic book version, so I guess maybe that's a nod to eventually they're going to update the Flash's outfit so he can have his yellow boots, which is more in line with the classic look of the Flash. But it doesn't really matter at this point because the show is a shell of its former self. Let's see. Boy, I can't remember. There was something else, but I blanked my mind. But, just the more... Oh, that's right. Frost and her boyfriend who wears... Look, that costume is just gay. I mean, that's meant for a gay man. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. But he's not, because he's supposed to be in love with Frost, So, I don't know. But anyway, so they show up and take on Damien Dark, who, of course, has, magical powers and all this stuff. But then they give a nod and saying, oh, John Constantine, who's no longer allowed to be seen because of Bad Robot, gave him some tips on how to counter his magic, but not totally, apparently. So then, of course, what do? They go into martial arts fighting. Even though their freeze powers are there, and they end up using them here and there, but the truth is, especially between the two of them, they would have knocked him out a long time ago. Just freeze him. There, done. But, no, we got to do martial arts. So anyway, and then the Atom shows up and saves the day. And then, he has to, because he was having a problem with Chester and Allegra getting together, and I thought, he's gonna come out and reveal he's in love with Chester, maybe. No, he's afraid of being alone, and is down on love. But you can't be down on love, because you know what ultimately saves Barry and for him to undo what Reverse Flash did? That's right, you guessed it, love. Because even though the whole timeline's been rewritten, Iris somehow feels that there's something there. And so she ends up shooting her fiance, Eobard Thawne, in order to save the what she has always believed to be the supervillain, Barry Allen. Makes sense, doesn't it? Because, her iris sense was tingling. Yeah, well, I guess you could toss it. They did make her lightning bolts appear in her eyes. So it's like, she's been touched by the Speed Force and crap. And so... somehow she could have echoes of a past timeline, reach her so that she's like, wait a minute, I gotta shoot my fiance. So anyway, she does, so there you go. So everything's fixed, and Barry tells Despero, and he says, well, I guess we'll leave it at that unless I figure out something else is wrong. And so he leaves, and then we see Eobard Thawne show up in the Gideon room, which I don't know if Gideon's still destroyed because that's how they left it, but with the timeline redone, who knows. But he's sitting there and insinuates that he's talking to someone perhaps other than Gideon, saying he has a nefarious plan. So, there you go. The Flash. Best episode of the season so far, which says absolutely nothing. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.